Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend.
And I'm James, your black friend,
This is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, before we get into anything, what is interesting to me and that I have to make sure I put out there is first of all, just a couple days ago was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, late Mother's
Yes.
Day, especially to my wife, who I love so much. Let me count the ways in which I love my wife.
I, Marvin K. Acme, here in Trust.
Wow. Wow.
Roger
Wait,
Rabbit. Roger
yes.
Rabbit reference.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
And before the show even started, we had Tyrus checking in.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, on my last layover was good. So we are live. It is May 17th, 2023. It is now
Yep.
8:05 p.m.
Yep.
And we're rocking and rolling here for another Fat and Black Connection. I am rocking and rolling with a Mammoth Brewing Company, Double Nut Brown. And this is a 5.5% alcohol by volume. It's a 1-pint can. Pack it in, pack it out. Mammoth Original.
There you go.
So,
I'm drinking
80.
that high quality Kirkland H2O.
Oh, wow. You got a nice bottle of water. Way to rock it.
That high quality H2O.
Hey, so before we get into anything else, huge announcement that came out over the weekend.
Do you have what it takes to join the Murphy Squad? Sign up for an audition and find out.
Yes.
Wow.
That's right. Murphy's Inc. Season 2 is casting.
Yeah.
So we've got that is actually not the voice of James.
No, that's not me.
Do you know who that is?
That is that sounds like Michael.
That is right. That is Shandon Loring, the voice of Michael in Murphy's Inc. He actually made that himself. He put that together. I made the original flyer, if you will, but he took the flyer and put some animation on it, and so I'm like, I need to go to this guy to make me some stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I wish he would have either made it a little bit shorter or put something else there instead of the because that just seemed to go on.
And he just keeps going and going and yeah, no.
So yeah, if you are an aspiring actor, voice actor, heck, even if you're not and you just want to get your toes wet or you think it's interesting, and you've got a decent microphone and whatnot,
I'd like to try my foot at this.
Yes, that sounds like it could be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
We're looking for a lot of people. We're trying to find upwards of 20 new actors. So.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan originally.
No. So this whole process of writing season 2, we brought in new writers and whatnot. It's been interesting. I thought I set clear expectations from the beginning that, I think we've talked about it before that season 2 of Murphy's Inc. is going to deal with multiple time periods.
Right.
And we assigned time periods to writers and said, here's the time period you're going to write about, what's happening, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I set the clear expectation that we wanted to see 3 or 4
5 max.
Absolute max of 5 in each of the time periods, because that would have meant, already we were going to be looking for probably anywhere between, 9 to 15 ish range, right?
Yeah.
And that's, we can, because it's different time periods, if we have actors that can do multiple accents or different characters, we could double up people.
Right.
But ideally, we were looking for, maybe at most around 12 new people. So I started getting the scripts in from the writers. And the very first episode written by one of the new writers had, in the first episode of their arc, had 5 characters that were literally one-liners. It was, I'll just say, it's like it's kind of taking place in a marketplace, and there are vendors selling their goods, right? And so our people are walking by, and these vendors are like shouting out different things.
Sugar dates and figs, sugar dates and pistachios.
Sure, something to that effect, right? And they had five vendors, and I'm like, why couldn't it just be 2, right? Like, why can't we just have 2 vendors that bark stuff back and forth? Or why can't it just be one person shouting out different things?
Or like when we were trying to sell popcorn at the arts festival.
Right. Yes, the good old days. Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting story. Let's talk about that for a minute. So you and I, we both used to serve on the board of a community theater based out of in the Bay Area, Stage One Community Theater, formerly known as Stage One Repertory Theater.
That's right.
I think their legal name is still Stage One Repertory Theater. But we were both board members, and we had a lot of fun getting behind the scenes, if you will, of how the sausage is made there. And we, while serving on the board, there was an event. Was it the Art and Wine Festival in Fremont, I believe?
The Fremont Art and Wine Festival, yeah.
And we, Stage One, had partnered with a kettle corn company, or one of the pop-up tents or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we'll give you guys a percentage of our profits because we like you. Like, there was nothing else, but we do ask that you send some people to come help man
out
the booth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Be carnival barkers, if you will. And so you and I, we were like, okay, we'll go. And we signed up for a time slot or whatever. And man, we were
of the day out there.
It was a hot day. This was in July or August,
something like that.
It was hot. It was sticky, but we were shouting, shouting out, whatever we could do to get people to buy some.
Yeah, we saw people we knew, so we were like, "Hey, these people like kettle corn. These people like kettle corn. Come on over, get some kettle corn." And then, I think, wasn't there a lady that was like across from us that got mad or something like that?
Oh yeah, she was mad because people were coming over to, just because we're standing there, we're outwardly going individuals, and we're loud and we're boisterous, and people were coming over because why not, right? They might not even buy any kettle corn, but what's up with these guys? What the hell are they talking about? Let's go see. And so people across the way were getting mad because people weren't coming to their side of the street, if you will. Sorry.
Yeah, but that was a fun time.
Yeah,
that was fun.
So back to Murphy's. So I get the first arc, if you will, and as I had mentioned before, there was 5 vendors, not including all these other characters. So in total, I was originally given, I'm looking at it right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9.
1, 2,
9.
3, 4, 5,
I'm sorry,
10.
10 total new characters. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. Like,
I need half that.
So in essence, I eliminated 3 of the vendors and said, okay, we're going to do 2. I then doubled up a bunch of characters. So now we just need to find actors who can give us 2 looks, if you will. So then we get to the second arc, if you will. And this one was better. This one came with a total of 6.
Okay.
So still, I said 3 to 4, absolute maximum 5, and I got 6.
So double the minimum.
Yeah. So a couple of the characters here I was able to double up, and I think it makes sense and would work. So we really only need like 4 actors.
Okay.
Then we get to another timeline.
Yay!
And on this one, give me just a moment here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Originally had 18 new characters.
For France?
Yes. Yes. 18 unique individual characters. Many of which I have doubled up or I've had rewritten in a way that, we were able to just combine characters, so to speak, if you will, to where now for that arc, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 actors.
So you went from 18 to 12?
Yes. And it's hard because
so like what, four times the minimum, and 2 times the max. Well, actually, no, more than 2 times, because
yes, and it's hard because in this arc, it's a larger arc. It's going to be approximately 4 episodes,
right?
And 6 of the characters are pretty important to the story. The other ones are kind of like 1 or 2 liners here and there. They're a little bit of a throwaway, but even still, like, I will say that arc is probably my favorite of what we have. And Tyrus, he's a writer on season 2. He's contributing in many different ways. And originally he apologized for bringing on a few new folks, but now he doesn't feel so bad.
No, do it. Yeah.
So yeah, season 3 of Murphy's Inc. I'm sorry, season 2 of Murphy's Inc. is shaping up to be much larger than originally anticipated.
Yeah.
In cast size, originally when we talked about season 2, we were talking about like 10 to 12 episodes. Now it's going to be 15.
Yep.
Maybe 16. We'll see.
Sheesh. Just keep moving up, huh?
Well, it was going to be 15, but then I got a re-edit on an episode, and it's even longer. And I'm almost like,
after the re-edit?
Yeah. So I'm kind of at this place where I'm like, okay,
just let it happen, I guess.
Yeah, but from a casting perspective,
there's a lot of parts.
We're ready. We're gonna do auditions next Wednesday and Thursday.
Get on here.
We have how you say a sign up page that's on a Google Doc, and there's a couple ways you could get there. One of which is by scanning that QR code, or if you go to the 97 to Now Productions page on Facebook. You'll see the QR code there. You can scan it with your phone and go to it, or you can also click on the actual image and it should take you there. I think I set it up so that it can do that. Or, you can always reach out to us here at Fat and Black Connection. We can help you out and get you there. But I'm a little disappointed with the turnout so far. I mean, it hasn't even been a week yet, to be fair. But I was actually expecting a lot more signups than what we've gotten. Because, you and I, we've worked with lots of people.
Yeah.
And, I was hoping to have at least 30-ish people audition. Because if we need 20 or so, I'd like to have more than that. Because, you're going to
have some backup.
Yeah, because you're going to get some people that maybe,
not as good as others.
Wouldn't be your first choice, or maybe they got a bad microphone.
Yes, maybe they're not set up correctly.
Yes. So as it stands right now, we're about halfway to my minimum goal.
Okay.
So we've got a lot. I recognize a lot of the names, which is nice because a lot of these people we've worked with on other shows.
Okay.
So it'll be I can easily see a lot of these people in different roles.
Okay.
So that's nice from that perspective.
Yeah.
The one that I'm the most concerned about is in one of the timelines that we're going to be dealing with. We're going to the Middle East.
Yeah.
So we definitely need some, individuals out there that either are of Middle East descent or can extremely well portray it.
Right.
Because, I would prefer in all of the time periods that we're dealing with that we're casting people, you mentioned France, right? Like, I would love to find a bunch of French actors that can speak English.
That would be
with the French accent. Like that would be, that would be the ideal. I would love to find a bunch of Middle Eastern actors that, can speak Arabic or, but speak English so that we get the accent.
Right.
But, sometimes you got to work with what you have.
Yeah.
We've reached out to people directly. So hopefully we'll get some hit back there, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, James, what happened on Sunday?
Oh, yo. Yeah. We actually had our interview with Pop Culture Kaboom on Sunday night, right before the premiere of Murder by Garlic.
And so I went on for the first 20 minutes on Pop Culture Kaboom. I was at the bottom of their first hour.
Yep.
And
covering 97 and Now, and
yeah, we were talking about
97
and Now Productions in general, talking about Fat and Black Connection, talking about Murphy's Inc., talking about, the cruise that we just did, talking about all the different aspects of what 97 and Now Productions is, what we do, what we're looking to do more of in the future. So that was nice. We got to talk about the auditions coming up.
Oh, okay.
And then at the top of their second hour, you joined and you talked about
Murder by Garlic from the Jack R. Abbott files.
From the files of.
Oh, yeah, that's right. From the files of Jack R. Abbott.
Yeah, you should know the name of the show that you directed.
Yeah, we changed. We got a rename thing.
So Tyrus is asking us if we can post the interview, and I know that Pop Culture Kaboom does make their episodes available. I will have to go find that, ask them for permission. I can't just, it's their show. I can't just take it.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind because, they...
Yeah, Jimmy's cool, so I'm sure he'd be like, sure, go ahead.
Do it.
And I did call him out because we've tried to ask him to come on our show to be interviewed by us.
I'm busy.
It's Wednesdays. Wednesdays are just really hard for me.
Yeah, that was fun. But no, it was a good interview. Real chill. Just they got to ask questions, and sorry, no vampires are in this one, but
yes, they did ask for some vampires because Murder by Garlic usually
Garlic,
and it takes place in Nolans.
Yeah, so
so did you have a chance to actually catch the episode of Murder by Garlic?
No, I wasn't able to listen to it because I was at work. But
so when is it going to be available again?
So it will be airing again this Friday on KNVC.
At what time?
At is it 8 or 9?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. this time. Okay.
And so you can listen to it on 95.1 KNVC if you live in Northern Nevada, or
knvc.org.
That's right.
Yes. But for me, I'm going to try and listen to it on Friday. I will probably only be able to catch a little bit of it, but after that, it will be available on anywhere you get your podcast, where we've posted our other shows. So it'll be
available Friday night,
or Saturday morning. I don't know, but probably
right after.
Posting
it, you're getting it up. You're taking care of that.
I think. Do you have it? Do you have? I know I have some of the files. I have the final files. So.
So you're gonna take. Who is this?
Hi, James. Hi, Mark.
No, that's not me.
Weird. Is there another Mark?
There must be another Mark out there.
Oh, which Mark are you?
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
I'm Mark as well.
He's Mark as well.
Interesting. So you're not going to be the one actually getting it up then for people to listen to worldwide.
I don't even know how to post stuff on there, actually, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. So maybe don't overstep your bounds by saying when stuff's going to get posted.
I'm just saying, like, that's what we've normally done. It's like with Murphy's and stuff like that. After it aired the second time, it was getting posted. So I don't know.
Yes, I need to follow up with Joe Bly at KNVC to make sure he's good with me posting it, since we did do this project together in
together, right?
conjunction. So,
Yeah,
I have it ready, and I'm gonna just do it as a radio edit. I'm not gonna go in and cut out, the opening,
yeah,
or I'm not gonna adjust the ending. You know what I
right.
mean?
Just
I'm not gonna cut out the middle where the
break time.
announcer says,
Yeah. We'll be back after short.
after these messages.
We'll be right back. If you don't know what we're talking about, you're too young.
Yes, indeed. So that was Sunday. But before Sunday, you went and did something kind of cool.
Yeah. So on last Wednesday and last Thursday, I actually got to go to filming of American Ninja Warrior.
And you got paid.
Yeah. I ended up actually one of my coworkers actually signed up to go because we have different days off. And he went and he told me that he was getting paid to go. And I was like, say what? Because I had just gotten free tickets because I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gave me that info, I was like, yeah. So he forwarded me the email that he actually got, and they were actually asking for friends and family and stuff. And so I was like, cool, signed up, and I ended up being able to go to 2 nights. A lot of fun. I'm finally getting my voice back. My voice was gone from like
a lot of hooting and hollering.
A lot of hooting, hollering, just cheering, everything else. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I've been wanting to go to American Ninja Warrior for a long time. And so it
Did you have to sign an NDA?
No, but I mean, I don't want to give anything away.
I'm not asking you to give anything away, but can you talk about the experience a little bit
more?
Oh,
yeah. No. Oh, yeah. No, it was, I mean, so we actually, so they did the film.
Were these early rounds? Were these late rounds?
These are late rounds. These are like the end.
So these are like, were you there for the finals?
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw the tail end of it, if you will.
Yeah. So I mean, but it was cool finally being able to see some of the ninjas that I've watched over the years actually run the course. That was mainly one of the reasons I wanted to go. So just seeing how seeing the course in real life, it's almost not as daunting as it looks on TV.
So how does it work? So were you sitting in one place the entire time, or did you get to move around and sit in front of different obstacles? Or
so basically, where we were, like the obstacle course is in front of you. So you mean like at one point we were at the beginning, near the beginning of the course, and then at another one, actually we were also at the beginning, middle of the course, because that was a shorter course. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. The way there's definitely some TV magic to it when they put it all together. So
so is it smaller than it looks like on TV? Because on TV
it is actually it is a little bit smaller, and it's a little. I mean, like, I'm not saying that I could do it by any means. Like I mean, like, it takes a lot of physicality to be able to do these obstacles. That's no joke. But it actually looked like a lot less daunting in person.
Were there any new obstacles that maybe we hadn't seen before?
There was one called, I don't know if it's called Pizza Party or if that's what they were just calling it. That was one that was knocking out a number of ninjas. Like, that took out a number of people, but that was a very interesting obstacle.
How many would you say you saw run on one night?
I saw, I think it was 15, about 15 people go.
The first night or the second night?
No, this was so they'd already gone a couple nights, and then I got there and I saw 15, but yeah, like 15 run on the first night that I was there. And then I saw the girls ran, and that was like 8 or 9, and then or was it 12? I don't remember. Well, I know it was a number of people that, like I said, a number of people ran, and it was a lot of fun, man. Like
So,
I
so,
made sure to hold signs so I can try and get on TV and stuff, and
so I'm a little. So you were there basically like 6 hours, right? Each time.
yeah, about that, a little less. I think it was a little less than that, but about 6
S-
hours.
So you were only seeing on average about 2 people go an hour.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, like because they have to reset the obstacles. So they would wait till either the person finished or fell, and so then they'd have to reset the obstacles. But then also when we got there, so we got there at midnight. So we were going from about midnight to 5 a.m. And so in that time, there between like I think 1 and 2, they had their lunch. So we were kind of just sitting around.
Okay, so they must have been there much earlier then.
Yeah, they were there. Like I think some of the stuff started like around 7 o'clock, and they had some that went at 7, and then they had this other. Then they had the crew come in, or the
And
group come in later at night.
did they let audience members come out and try anything?
Not that I saw. They might have before, but no, they didn't have any of that. But I did actually. I met a lot of people who just kind of do these audience participation things. Like, I think most recently we had the World Series of Poker going on, and so some of the people that I was talking to there, they were going over to that to be in an audience for that.
And get paid for that too?
Yeah. I didn't realize you could get paid to be in audiences. And I was like, yo, looking into this more. So
Well, yeah. I mean, you broke, so you need to get paid.
yeah, a little extra money here and there don't hurt nobody.
Speaking of broke, have you bought your Disneyland tickets yet?
Nah, man, not yet.
What you waiting for?
I'm just waiting on getting closer, I guess.
Well, you don't want to wait too long because you got to remember you got to do reservations and months in advance.
That's still
a thing at Disneyland. They are eliminating it at Disney World.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, we'll have to get on that.
Let me ask you this. So, what are your thoughts on the Magic Band
At Disney World?
at Disneyland?
Oh, I didn't know about those.
Do you know what the Magic Bands are?
Yeah, I have actually. I have one from when I went to Disney World.
Yes, that won't work at Disneyland because
okay.
you have to have a version 2 or 2.0 or whatever they call it.
Okay.
But those will work at both Disneyland and Disney World.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the Magic Band was actually pretty awesome because we didn't have to worry about but it did have your fast passes on there. It held your fast passes, and actually it was also your room key.
Mm-hmm.
If
you're staying at a Disney resort.
Yeah, if you're staying at a Disney resort, it was kind of nice. It looks like a watch, but it doesn't have, I think it worked, or was that the cup? On the soda machines, like they had like soda machines at the resort that you could refill. I think it was the cup, but I could have been the band. I don't remember. Anyway, the bands they're actually kind of they're simple. Like the functionality is simple, but like very amazing. Like,
I'm sorry, the new ones are called Magic Band Plus, not 2.0. And so can you, or did you use it, like if you went to buy a churro, did you use it then? Or
no, it wasn't really for that. It didn't like I don't know if you could put money on it like that.
You link a credit card to it.
Oh, you link a credit card to it? Oh, yeah. So I didn't I don't think I used it like that. I might have. There's a possibility, probably, but I don't remember that. All I remember is like I remember when I had fast passes, in conjunction with the app, to get everything organized, as well as like I said, the room key, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I mean, it was really easy and just kind of functional. Like,
So would you say that for you, you're going to get one for this trip to Disneyland?
Um, I don't really see it being necessary, but I mean, if I have to, then yeah. But
I'm planning to get them for my family, because just reading on them and seeing the ease of getting into the park, like we're not staying at Disneyland Resort, but
right,
um, the ease of getting into the park for the fast passes, all of that kind of stuff. To me, it's like okay, and it's basically
is it included in the charge or was it like extra?
no, you have to buy them separately.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
It's Disney, right? Duh.
Yeah, you should know better.
Yeah.
You should know better. But yeah, I figure, I see realistically going at least once every, on the long end 2 years. So it's probably
Oh, and you can. Oh, yeah, the reuse. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. No, it does make sense actually. Now that I think about it, it's a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what else is a good idea?
What else is a good idea?
Do you have what it takes to join the Murphy Squad? Sign up for an audition and find out.
That was good. That was good.
So speaking about Disneyland and Disney things, did you see the new trailer for Haunted Mansion?
Yes.
I will say this trailer, I'm not juiced. I'm not
Oh.
juiced, but I am a lot more interested than I was based off of the first.
I saw Rosario Dawson, I saw Tiffany Haddish, I saw Owen Wilson, so I was like, and Danny DeVito, I was like, I think I'm. Oh, and then I saw just in this official trailer, I saw Hassan Minaj. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go see this now.
Yeah, I like I said, I will. I just still don't think I'm going to see it in the theater.
I think I will. But the thing was, is I think what excited me a lot about that is that it's a lot more. It's a lot more of the ride. There's some of the lines included in that you hear on the ride. Some of the ghosts that you see on the ride are involved in this. So I'm actually, that's what I was excited to see. There's a lot of different stuff too, which I wouldn't be surprised if that somehow gets, added in somehow or some kind of form in the next couple years or in the next year or so. Not revamping the entire thing, but just some of the little things that they added in the movie.
Well, and I do think that there was actually a couple more things in that trailer that maybe you wouldn't recognize if you haven't been to see like the Haunted Manor, or what's the other one called in? Is it Tokyo Disney or Shanghai? One of them that has a separate Haunted Mansion-esque, where it's basically like following a monkey around this haunted chamber. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh, well, yeah. There's
Haunted Manor. Is that in like Paris Disneyland?
Yes, I believe that is.
That sounds like a Paris Disneyland type deal.
I'm trying to find the one. Haunted Mansion. Shanghai? Maybe it's Shanghai. Let's see.
You follow a monkey?
Yeah, what's interesting is that the track system is the track system that you've seen recently for like Ratatouille or Mickey's Runaway Railroad.
Right. The
trackless system.
Yeah, it's like the magnets in the floor, basically.
Yeah, and the
same thing they use for Rise of the Resistance.
Yes, true. Yeah. That is correct. And right now I can't for the life of me remember what that ride was called. Anyways, look it up. There is a trackless ride that is Haunted Mansion-esque.
That's kind of cool.
And it's so good. It's so well done. And it came out in the last, 5 years or so. So obviously the animatronics and everything are amazing.
Oh, have to be.
But yeah, I would definitely suggest checking that out. So hey, I got to ask you, and I'll be frank because you're black. This is why I need to know.
Okay.
I mean, this is the fat and black connection, right?
True. Yeah.
I'm the fat one, so
Yeah.
So
I have a
you've
question
heard
about food. No, I was kidding.
you've heard you've heard about California and reparations.
Yeah.
How a couple years ago, Gavin Newsom put together a panel to figure out, what would be appropriate, even though California never had slavery or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And then they finally released their findings not that long ago, and they basically decided that based on how long you've lived in California and how old you are and whatnot, you could potentially get up to $1.2 million.
The hell?
You have not heard about this?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I mean, obviously you're younger, so you wouldn't be looking at that much.
Right. But still, like that's
And you're not in California anymore, so it doesn't really
right.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
But it's interesting because Gavin Newsom, the person who put this whole thing into effect, since they announced the dollar amounts and everything, has done a complete backpedal. Because it looks like this, if this was to get paid out, it would be over $500 billion.
Yeah. That was
And
dumb in general.
the state can't afford
No.
it. It's already in debt. It's already hemorrhaging money. So he is now completely like backpedaling, like, maybe not so much now. And it's like, oh, so you were just pandering before.
I mean, even if that, I mean, like, cool, do your findings, but I mean, honestly, it wouldn't even be like that's so far after the fact that what reparations were supposed to be and what it was for and everything else. But I mean, like, yeah, that'd be cool, but why?
So as a black man that was born and raised in California,
Mhm.
from your perspective, do you feel that you personally are due something from
No.
California? From California.
No. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like, and that's the thing is that, like, I mean, if it was, my, no, because actually they weren't even, actually, so like my great grandparents would probably be the ones that were probably the closest to any sort of, actually maybe even my great grandparents, I don't even know, but like as far as like being anywhere near even sharecropping.
Have you traced your lineage? Do you know if you are actually descendant of any actual slaves?
It gets so convoluted that I don't know anything past. I don't really know anything past my grandparents.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
you've never tried doing like my ancestry or anything like that?
No, I've tried, and that's the thing is like that's where we got hung up because unfortunately, and now with both of my grandmothers being passed, just trying to figure out those connections there, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so not being able, if unfortunately, I know there's some black families that have been able to keep that all intact and be able to trace it back as far as they can. Unfortunately, with my family, just we didn't really keep track of that stuff.
So if you were able to track your lineage directly to slaves,
Cool.
do you feel that you'd be due something today?
I didn't. Why? I didn't go through it.
No, but your descendants, not your descendants, your ascendants, your family did potentially at some point.
Maybe like, cool, give us some land or something. I don't know, whatever. I mean, I don't.
And a mule.
Yeah, I don't. I like honestly, it just doesn't. It doesn't affect us anymore. Like okay, don't get me wrong. There are some things that are still institutionalized from those times, but we're not
today.
Like that. There's talk like like when how policing got started was during slavery. How like certain things got established within the country was back during slavery. Anyways, but like that doesn't really. We don't have to deal with. We are not out in fields anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the argument, or one of the arguments for reparations to a degree, is that, part of, everything after the Civil War was people were supposed to get 40 acres
40
of
acres of
mule,
mule,
right?
and that
And didn't
really
happen, right?
Yeah.
And so one side of the argument is that if your ancestors had been given these things, you may not necessarily you, but you may be in a different place financially today or in status today.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that, there were, um, they don't, and that's the problem. I wish they would actually talk about this in history classes. And, I actually happened to see it in a YouTube, or was it on YouTube or was it on TV? Basically there was what they call Black Wall Street. And it was it was literally the other side of the tracks. There was, the white side of town was on this side of the tracks. There was a black side of town on this other side of the tracks. And I believe this was in the Midwest somewhere. And this black town was doing amazing, thriving, and they had their own businesses and schools and whatnot, and they were doing amazing. While on the other side of the tracks was this white town that wasn't doing so well. And I believe I don't know if it was somebody claimed rape, or a white woman claimed rape or something, and they went in and absolutely destroyed this town, like wiped it from the face of the map. And like, it's like that, those people, if they, I know, because one lady, she was actually, the night that happened, she was supposed to go to her senior prom. And so just the thing, was a number of years ago, where the high school where in the town that she lives found out about this and actually invited her to their prom, because she never got to go. And she was like in her 80s or 90s or something like that. And so I was like, that's pretty cool. But like, those people, I feel, if they're still around, they should probably get something for that happening to them. But it's like that. I mean, and that's the case of a number of cities throughout America during after the Civil War and into the 60s and 70s, where some of these towns were literally wiped off the face of the map because they were doing well, and their white counterparts didn't like that, and so they figured out how to clear them out, either by burning it down, or in one case, I believe they poisoned the water, so they couldn't. But yeah, however they did it, it just, like, I think those people would deserve something, because they had thriving communities, had thriving businesses, and the people who lived there were doing well, and then they had to kind of up and leave. Because,
and this was more recent in history, in like in the 50s, 60s, or
yeah,
when
it's like
this?
40s, I think 40s, 50s, 60s, like during those
So
times.
you're saying if those specific people are still alive, or are you saying that they're descendants?
No, I'm saying, like, if those specific people were still alive, I could see them getting something. But, and I mean, maybe, like, if their children or something are still alive and we're dealing with that kind of stuff, then I can understand. But they'd all be up in age at this point.
So your folks are from the East, pretty much, right? Your dad's from Tennessee area.
Yeah,
right?
Memphis.
And your mom is from
DC.
Where is Memphis?
Tennessee.
Okay, so I was correct.
Yeah. No, I was just saying Tennessee. Yes, Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that you knew that those were. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that, based on your parents' upbringing, and definitely probably dealing with a lot of different things than you did in California,
100%.
30, 40 years later, do you think that they would have the same opinion as you?
I don't know. I mean, it'd probably be along the same lines. I know when we went to the Civil Rights Museum, my dad was telling us a story of when after Martin Luther King was, or no, was before Martin Luther King was assassinated. Um, and they had the strike, the garbage strike going on. National Guards officers came in, and my dad was a kid riding his bike. He was telling us the story, and one of these uh, National Reserve people called my dad an N-word, and my dad kind of stopped and was like, "Wait, who? Where?" Type deal. So I mean, that's kind of big for a young kid to be able to recognize that that's not who I am.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know how he would feel about it. I don't know how my mom would feel about it. But I mean, just from my standpoint, I don't feel like I'm entitled to anything.
So, from a federal standpoint, so we talked about California, because just today it came up again in that a congressperson is proposing federal reparations. What are your thoughts, feelings on that?
If I really think if you're gonna do anything like that, it would need to go to people if they're still alive, if they still live in that.
No one is still alive from
I mean,
Civil
no, I mean, I'm
War.
sorry. Yeah, no, I'm duh. I mean, like you'd have to kind of draw a generational line. Like, where does it end? In my opinion.
No, and I hear that because at some point, if you do it, and let's say you give if you give 40 acres and a mule as was promised years ago, um, then could you know your children or your children's children 100 years from now say, well, I want something too. So I agree with you. At what point, where's the cutoff?
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying. I don't. That's the only thing.
so if you were in Congress and you were hearing, okay, uh, we're looking at doing this potentially, what would be your 2 cents? Like, the debate is happening. You've got those saying yes, we need to do this. No, people saying no, we shouldn't do this. What would be your 2 minute speech, if you will? You've got 2 minutes to talk about what you think should happen, why it should happen. What would that look like, sound like?
Oh, I mean, it'd probably be along the lines of is that we are still living with the travesties of in some cases we are still living with the travesties of what has been an institutional kind of institutionalized within our country, but the us giving reparations uh does it, I mean, like, I don't know, us giving reparations is very it's a sticky subject, because how do we determine who gets that, who, because we are so I don't know. eh, I don't know. I'd really have to do, like it would be one of those things I'd have to really sit down and really look at. But I just think at this point, um, but yeah, I don't,
Are you okay? We are live.
no,
Can you
no,
stop looking at your phone?
no, actually, because we were talking about it, actually, my mom actually sent me a text message,
Oh, is she watching us right now?
or she was at least listening to it. Um,
Hi, mom.
yeah, and so I mean, yeah, I mean, um, I I I really don't know where, of course, like she even said, yes, our ancestors were enslaved, but like that's I don't I don't know where that line would really be drawn, you know, because I mean a kid born, today, it, it's would they would they be eligible, or is it like
No, and that's kind of what I'm curious to try and understand, because if you look at the breakdown, and you should, after we're done tonight, you should at some point go look at what proposal out of California, because it was looking at different things, such as from the time of civil rights. It pretty much dates back to if you were born, 19, I can't remember, 54, somewhere in there, right? And so I think it's like up to a 72-year-old person. So whatever, if we date back 72 years or whatever, right? So it lays out, because of this over policing during this time period to this time period, you get paid, you should get this amount for every year. For this atrocity, if you will, it should be this. And to me, that's not the whole concept of I thought of what reparations was more looking at systemic issues, as you've referenced, that are easily provable, because there are things, right? Like until affirmative action came to be, easily you can prove that there was heavy discrimination in hiring practices, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it makes sense. Yes. Up until that point, if you were alive anytime up until that, okay, if California wants to start giving out money, okay, even from a federal standpoint, at least you're saying, here's a line.
Yeah.
Right? But for someone like you, born in 1982.
Yeah, I haven't had to deal with that. I mean, like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I've had some moments where I've had some racism ugly its head into my life, not to the extremes of, like my grandparents or my great grandparents, or even, some of the stuff my parents had to deal with. It reared its head, but not in and that happened far and few in between. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's really kind of sticky.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to follow up on this next week. Read the California thing, the proposal, the thoughts there, and follow up with your folks, because
yeah, no, I definitely will. Like,
I think obviously generationally there's different perspectives. Talk to your brother too. I mean, he's a couple of years younger than you, but he might have a different perspective. It's just interesting, because I see people on a lot of different platforms and on news broadcasting places that have different mentalities and philosophies, and it's just it's an interesting conversation that has been ongoing since.
No, I remember hearing something about that before, but I was like, I didn't know it was continuing to move forward. So it was one of those things where I was like, oh, maybe that just kind of fell apart. But yeah, I know. I mean, like 40 acres and a mule at that point in time would have been amazing, because that would have set these people up.
Well, they would have had land.
They would have had land. They would have had,
a mule, but that's it.
Right. I mean, but then, because then the problem is that there was also not discrimination, but they would raise prices if they wanted to buy seed or, things like that. But what could have happened is that these people could have kind of banded together and been like, okay, so we'll do this here. Like there could have been some real community growing there where, like, sure,
especially if they would have given out those parcels of land
together. Together. Like, they could have been some real community sharing where, like, okay, so we'll get some, like everybody kind of kick in, we'll grow, we'll take care of this field, and this field will be this will be corn or some kind of crops. And over here we'll have like maybe some cattle or whatnot, and we'll kind of all, make sure we can take care of each other type deal.
I don't know. So I just want to talk about a couple of other things with you before we jump off here. But before we do, I had a really interesting thought that deviates clearly from this conversation.
Do you have what it takes to join the Murphy Squad? Sign up for an audition and find out.
So
stupid.
What?
That was funny.
So one other kind of quasi-major topic that was signed into law today in Montana. Bear in mind, Montana has outlawed TikTok.
They actually did it, huh?
Yes. So it is. I mean, obviously, there's going to be lawsuits and everything to try and fight, the constitutionality of it and everything. But ultimately, as of today, it was signed into law.
Now, is this just on the government stuff, or is this state? Like, if I was on TikTok, I go into Montana, it's illegal.
It would be illegal for you to be able to download TikTok while in Montana. So the onus is on Apple, Google,
so they have to take it down. Can you just take it down locally?
I don't know. So I know, for example, like William Hill Sports app, right?
Mm-hmm.
It used to only be available in Nevada.
Right.
And it would require that you gave access to your GPS location.
Right.
And if you were in California, for example, you would not be able to place a bet.
Right.
So I could see something similar to that, where TikTok could release an update that basically prevents people in Montana from being able to access TikTok.
Yeah. But what if they already have TikTok?
I mean, then you're usually grandfathered in, right?
Oh, okay.
So you as the private citizen, you're not going to be liable for using TikTok. It's the companies that make TikTok available. So what the law is written states is that for every day that TikTok is available to download, the company providing that availability would be fined $10,000.
So we're talking like Google, Apple Play, so Google's
Apple
Play
Store, Google Store, all those. If they have TikTok available in Montana,
what?
Yes.
Wow.
$10,000 a day.
Yikes. That's crazy. Okay. So first off, I'm not a big TikTok fan personally. So I don't really get it.
Yeah, I don't get the whole TikTok, Instagram video, YouTube Shorts. I don't, and maybe I'm just too old. But my wife, she watches a lot of TikTok. She'll be scrolling through for like an hour at a time, right?
Yeah.
And she'll send me stuff constantly. I think tonight she's already probably sent me like 12 things or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like I will watch them when I get to it, right? And I'll go on to TikTok once in a while. I'll be like, okay, but I don't know, because it's an algorithm based thing.
Yeah.
So it gives you more content based on either what you search for or
what you watch. Yeah. What you've been watching.
If you spend a lot of time watching this type of video, then I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of like forced to a degree content. Like,
I feel you.
I like kind of YouTube where for the show, we use a lot of YouTube stuff to go find trailers for Star Wars and, Marvel stuff and all of that. And
so we get that stuff.
Yeah. And just so that you folks know, James is about to pee himself over there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and handle your bladder. Okay. And while you do that, let's enjoy the trailer for Murder by Garlic, which can be heard Friday at 8 p.m. on KMVC.org or at 95.1 KMVC.
This is me, Jack R. Abbott.
This is Nala, the French Quarter, for Christ's sake. Come on, Jack, it's hell out here.
Abbott? I understand you're looking to find a good story about murder. Something that might possibly stimulate that criminal mind of yours just came my way.
Can I gather all the tenants together and pray?
Damn, Amelia. Kill her.
I'll be careful this time.
I knew you could do it.
Just like an old pro, huh?
You girls in Berserkly for a fling after you check this place out, or can anyone join the party?
What's going on, Jack? Bonnie Brown has killed several dozen bad guys, and her partner a few dozen more.
Come on, Bunny. Last night you said you were built for action. I want to see what you got. Let's disappear in the bedroom.
Let's get out of here.
The boss is gonna be pissed.
I know. Murder by Garlic.
So if you haven't heard it yet, make sure you go to knvc.org, 8 p.m. Friday night. Give it a listen. Otherwise, you may not have an opportunity to hear it again for quite some time, or who knows, you might hear it over the weekend, because at some point, we will get it posted worldwide on all major podcasting platforms.
Worldwide.
Yes. And my wife, whom I love very much, so much, tells me that she has sent me 0 TikToks that she's watching our show.
Oh, that's nice.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I know I've gotten some notifications.
Yeah.
Do you feel better now?
Yes.
You feel relieved?
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, that's about all I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you have anything fun, exciting to share with the listening, viewing audience?
Not really. But the Knights are almost to, like, if they beat the Dallas Stars, they're in the Stanley Cup again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up. Sorry to all you Warriors fans out there. Yeah, I was actually pulling for you.
Well, and what's even more disappointing is that they lost, and then Los Angeles got stomped.
Yeah, they did. But so I'm actually pulling for Denver now.
And I'm looking at the Golden Knights. They are up 2-1 against the Oilers. So this is what is this round? So this is the conference championship.
No, they finished the conference championship. They are now in the
hold on.
No, the conference. No, because they're playing. Dallas Stars.
Sorry, the way this thing shows up is not in order. Okay, let's see. Okay, so they are playing the Dallas Stars starting.
They beat tomorrow, I think.
Friday.
Oh, Friday. Okay. Yeah.
Friday's the first game. So this is conference championship.
This is conference championship. So the next round is the Stanley Cup.
So if they beat the Stars,
yes,
best of 7.
Yep.
Speaking of Vegas sports, did you hear?
The A's are coming?
The A's have officially signed the contract.
Yeah.
With the Tropicana property.
Yeah. I'm just mad because there goes my free parking.
Is that where you currently park?
I park over.
When you go to the Strip?
Yeah, when I go to the Strip, I park at the Tropicana, and then I have zero problem walking.
Yes, the A's are coming. It's sounding like obviously it's going to take a little while because they got to build the stadium,
but
they got to tear down a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a dome, it's going to be a dome that can open and close, a retractable dome stadium, which is
sounding like the 2026 season.
Oh, okay, yeah,
at the earliest.
Yeah,
because the contract with their current lease or whatever with Oakland goes through 26. And it would cost them more to break it than And it's not like they can build a major sports complex in less than 2 years, anyways.
Right. In a day.
I have not seen
the Sims people.
I have not seen any artist renderings for this.
No, I haven't either. I no, that one. I don't think that's still stuff from Oakland. So I don't know what this is going to look like at all.
So how do you feel? Because I'm a huge Oakland A's fan.
I'm excited. Plus, their minor league team is here too.
I wonder if that's going to stay the case because normally, at least going back in the day, you were not allowed to have a minor league team in the same city as a major league team.
Oh, I guess because that's true because the River Cats are in Sacramento, so
right.
They apparently are the Giants minor league team now, which they were the A's minor league team for some time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I guess they're not in the same city. I don't know.
So I'm just wondering.
No,
if the
actually, I think
Aviators.
the Aviator. Well, I guess no. They guess they are in Vegas because they're not that.
Well, and
ballpark's
remember,
not-
they're not just looking at the city; they're looking at the market, if you will.
Yeah.
So even if they were in, like, let's say Henderson, it would probably still be considered the same market.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I suspect they're going to end up having to move the Aviator somewhere.
I don't know. They spend a lot of money on that park.
I know, and on rebranding because they used to be the 51s.
51. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for that. Plus we're there. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but there was talk about the NBA with Seattle getting the Supersonics back or some sort of team back, and then Vegas getting an NBA team.
Were you just jumping back to your roots, or what was that?
No, I just had my brain and my mouth weren't working in conjunction.
What are you looking at, bro?
There was a car driving by. Anyway, but no, I mean, like, so that's something that's supposed to get an NBA team out here too. So
If you guys get an NBA team, you will have all of the 4 major sports.
yeah,
And you guys have an MLS team?
yeah, yes,
Oh,
yeah.
so-
There's the Las Vegas. What are they called? The neon lights or something like that.
You guys have an XFL team?
Yeah, we had the Vipers. They were awful, apparently.
Do you have a USFL team?
No, all the USFL teams are like Midwest, East Coast.
Yeah, I can't keep up with
Yeah.
all the different football leagues.
And then we do have the WNBA champions, the Las Vegas Aces. So
Interesting. I've got the Reno Aces. They're not champions recently.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that's one of the things they talk about with Vegas is that now it's not just about coming for the gambling or the hookers or anything like that, right? There's so much more to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're like the sports is kind of blown up here. So
we talked about doing a Fat and Black meetup at a Raiders game.
Yeah.
And I looked into it because the tickets just went on sale this last week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I found the cheapest tickets were to any of the games we discussed?
Just tell me.
All the way in the top, like the tippity top back, like side angle, right?
Over $100.
Minimum $266.
Oh my God. Nope.
I'd like to go at some point, but I feel like I would rather save my money and eventually just buy like a skybox for a game or something.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna spend, if it's me, my wife, my kid, that's $1,000 almost right there, right? Because then you think about drinks and food and stuff, right? You're talking about $1,000 investment. I'd rather find, because a skybox there is like, I think it's like a minimum $7,500. Okay, then let me find, because you can, I think, have up to 20 people. Let me find some people that are willing to spend the money, and let's just go in on a skybox. You know what I mean?
Because then you have food. Don't you get food and drink and stuff included in that? Or?
Yep, it's all catered, and yeah.
That would be the way to go.
Yeah, that's crazy to me that basically $300 a ticket for absolute nosebleeds.
That's crazy. It's absolute craziness.
Well, and what's more crazy to me is that I think you may know this, and if not, that the NFL requires that for a game to be televised in its local market, it has to be sold out. So that stadium holds something like 65,000 people or something.
Yeah.
And it's also where the Super Bowl is going to be this next year.
Well, the thing is, the only reason that it even gets, I mean, I don't know how they do it, but like there's people, I mean, like I think I told you before, there's people that literally fly in for the game and then fly out.
Oh, yeah. No,
day, so, I mean,
especially in Vegas, that makes sense to me. I wouldn't necessarily expect to see something like that in Jacksonville. But in Vegas, that makes sense because you can make a day of it.
Right.
Fly in the morning, go do some gambling, hookers and blow, and then go to the game and then fly back, right?
in that order.
Because that's how Vegas is, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I don't live there.
Yeah, no, I'm
I've heard that's what the lifestyle is.
Yeah, I'm not into that, so I don't know.
Oh, not anymore. Okay, so
Not anymore.
I'm sorry, your mom's watching. I gotta be careful. Hi Donna. So that's you see a lot of it because you're working there at the airport. You see these people flying in and out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure quite often they're hawked up, right?
No, I mean, like some of them have drank one too many, but that's about it.
And this is always something that's been interesting to me. Are there rules from a TSA standpoint? If somebody is visibly intoxicated, do you let them through?
Yeah. Now, will they be able to get on the plane? That's a whole different subject.
Is that a TSA issue or does that become a
That's
metro issue?
That becomes like an airport issue or airline issue, not an airport issue, airline issue. If the person is like too like belligerent and things like that, like they won't let them on the plane.
So what happens if somebody, is at one of the bars because you guys have multiple restaurants and bars in the airport? If somebody starts acting a fool there, is that TSA or is that
no? That's not TSA. That once they pass the checkpoint, that's no longer our problem. That'll become a metro problem.
So what if they're at the
If they're in the
check-in counter?
If they're at the check-in counter, that's an airline issue. That also be like Metro would take care of that.
So really, your guys' only law enforcement aspect is purely
At the
checking
checkpoint.
bags and checking to
Yeah,
make sure you're not.
If I mean the bags that go through, your checked bags get checked by us. Your carry-on bags get checked by us. If you are acting a damn fool in the line while you're coming through our line, you are our problem. But then
What does that look like? Do you guys have the ability to detain and?
No, I mean, like basically we'll just again, Metro deals with all that. Like we'll get Metro involved.
So what would happen if somebody came through and I don't know, again, this is just me watching too many movies probably, but what would happen if somebody came through and got flagged like somehow, some way for like the terrorist watch list?
There's a whole different screening process for that.
But like, is it a TSA issue?
Yeah,
Or
no, I mean like the airline, they get notified and then they have to go through a whole special screening.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, James is crabby, so we're gonna shut this thing down.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta help a friend move his stuff tomorrow. So morning, and I don't like getting up.
No, you don't. All right. Well, any last pearls of wisdom?
No, man. Just have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Do you have what it takes to join the Murphy Squad? Sign up for an audition and find out.